Hi. Today we're going to talk about dividing by zero, a very fun and a pretty strange topic in mathematics. So if you pull out your calculator or a phone and you plug in 1 divided by 0, 2 divided by 0, anything divided by 0, your calculator or phone or whatever will say error or sometimes undefined. You may say at first, well, isn't that a problem? Shouldn't these machines know what value, 1 or 2 or anything divided by 0 is? Shouldn't mathematicians figure that out by now? They didn't just sit down and say, oh, well, dividing by 0, we'll leave that for later. We won't define it for now. Well, no. The reason why dividing by 0 produces this bizarre result of undefined is because there's really no way to define it. Let's start. Let's try to figure out what 1 divided by 0 is first. And I'm not going to use a calculator. I'm going to use something else. So I know 1 divided by 1 is 1. And 1 divided by 10, 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. And 1 divided by 0.01 is 100, right? Every time we move the decimal place back here, we add the decimal place back here. So I figure, well, if I keep moving the decimal place back here far enough, I'll eventually reach 0. And in return, I will add enough zeros here for long enough that I'll eventually reach infinity. So I can say at some point, right, 1 over 0, 1 divided by 0, will equal infinity. And on face value, I've just discovered what anything divided by 0 is. It's just infinity. But here's the problem. I can do that same process with any other number. Let's say I do 2, right? I can do 2 over 1 is 2. And 2 over 0.1 is 20. And so on and so forth. So I get 2 over 0 equals infinity. And the problem is, if they both equal infinity, then I must have 1 over 0 equals 2 over 0. And I can multiply 0. So I must have 1 equals 2. That doesn't work. 1 is not equal to. That can never be true. So dividing by 0 must not be infinity. Let me get some other value then. So I'll try and say, well, 1 divided by negative 1. It's negative 1. 1 divided by negative 0.1 is negative 10. And 1 divided by 0.01 is negative 100. And I soon see the process, and I soon get, well, 1 over 0, as we get closer and closer to 0, is equal to negative infinity. And here we start to see the real problem, right? Not only when we define, 1 over 0 equals infinity, do we get problems where 1 equals 2. We can do the exact same process with negative numbers and get that 1 over 0 is negative infinity. The complete opposite of what we originally got. So the problem isn't just that, oh, we can have some values equal each other. It's that even while defining it, we can get different definitions. 1 divided by 0 can't produce negative infinity and infinity. And that's why dividing by 0 produces an undefined result. It's undefined because it's undefinable. We simply cannot define it. We can't have 2 different values. We can't have 1 equaling 2 or some other problem. There's no way, there's no number we can pick, there's no strategy that we can use to have dividing by 0 produce a single number without absolutely breaking mathematics. Because doing this, it breaks mathematics, no question. We cannot have mathematics where 1 equals 2. It enters a whole new world of absurdity. So instead, we put this, abomination to math to rest by saying dividing by 0 is undefined. So therefore we don't do it, and therefore we don't have to worry about figuring out what on earth dividing by 0 produces, because we can just say, oh, it's undefined. And we can resolve that and lay it to rest. I think that's a pretty interesting story. And that's dividing by 0.